Welcome, fellow bookworms and lovers of the macabre, to a spine-tingling journey into the world of literature's darkest nightmares. In this chilling video, we will delve into the twisted minds of some of the greatest literary masters and explore the top 5 scariest books ever written. Prepare to be haunted by malevolent spirits, stalked by ancient evils, and plunged into the depths of psychological horror as we provide a bone-chilling summary of these literary masterpieces. So, if you dare to join us on this nightmarish journey, grab a cozy blanket, dim the lights, and get ready to unravel the mysteries of terror as we reveal the top 5 scariest books ever penned by the darkest imaginations. Our descent into the abyss begins now. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson is a spine-chilling masterpiece of horror literature that will send shivers down your spine and haunt your thoughts long after you've turned the final page. The story follows Dr. John Montague, a paranormal investigator, as he assembles a group of individuals with unique psychic sensitivities to explore the infamous Hill House. The house itself is a character in its own right, a sinister mansion with a dark and unsettling history. It stands alone on a desolate hill, a place where the atmosphere is thick with malevolence and dread. As the group enters Hill House, they are immediately struck by its eerie and unsettling architecture. The very walls seem to breathe with malevolence, and the house itself appears to be a sentient, malevolent force. Strange occurrences begin to plague the inhabitants, from unexplained noises in the dead of night to chilling apparitions that defy rational explanation. Eleanor Vance, one of the group members, becomes the focal point of the supernatural occurrences. As she becomes increasingly entangled with the house, her sanity unravels in a nightmarish descent into madness. The line between reality and the supernatural blurs, and the reader is left questioning the very nature of the terror that haunts Hill House. Shirley Jackson's masterful prose weaves an atmosphere of dread that is palpable on every page. Her exploration of the psychological toll of fear and the disintegration of sanity is both chilling and profound. The Haunting of Hill House is a psychological horror classic that delves deep into the darkest recesses of the human mind, leaving you questioning the reality of the supernatural and the fragility of your own sanity. This tale of terror will have you looking over your shoulder, questioning the creaks and whispers in the night, and pondering the thin line that separates the living from the dead. The Haunting of Hill House is a story that will continue to haunt your nightmares long after you've finished reading it. Dare you enter the ominous confines of Hill House and face the horrors that lie within? Psycho, by Robert Bloch. In the quiet and secluded town of Fairvale, nestled deep within the ominous woods, lies a motel that conceals a chilling secret. Psycho, penned by the master of suspense, Robert Bloch, unravels a harrowing tale that will leave your spine tingling with fear. The story begins with the unsettling encounter between the mild-mannered secretary, Marion Crane, and her illicit lover, Sam Loomis. Driven by desperation and a desire for a better life, Marion makes a fateful decision to steal a large sum of money from her employer and flee to Sam's waiting arms. But as she embarks on her desperate journey, ominous rain clouds gather, mirroring the darkness looming within her soul. She seeks refuge at the ominous Bates Motel, a decrepit and seemingly abandoned roadside inn, run by the peculiar Norman Bates. A young man dominated by his overbearing mother, Norman exudes an unsettling aura that sets the stage for dread. The motel, with its dimly lit rooms and eerie stuffed birds, becomes a nightmarish trap that ensnares Marion in a web of terror. Marion's fate takes a terrifying turn when she steps into the shower, a scene etched into the annals of horror history. The screeching violins and chilling scream reverberate in the reader's mind, forever haunting their nightmares. As the investigation into Marion's disappearance deepens, her sister Lila and Sam, driven by concern and desperation, journey to Fairvale. What they uncover is a mind-bending revelation that defies reason and plunges them into the heart of madness. Psycho is a spine-tingling exploration of the human psyche, the shadows lurking within ordinary people, and the capacity for evil that dwells in the darkest corners of the mind. Norman Bates, the embodiment of psychological horror, is a character whose true nature will leave you sleepless and trembling. Robert Bloch's masterpiece, Psycho, delves into the depths of madness, inviting readers to question their own sanity as they confront the terrifying unknown. The novel serves as a chilling reminder that the horrors that terrify us most are often the ones that reside closest to home. Prepare to be gripped by fear and suspense as you navigate the twisted corridors of Psycho, a tale that will haunt your thoughts long after you've closed its pages. Dare you enter the twisted world of Norman Bates and the sinister secrets of the Bates Motel? The Shining by Stephen King is a bone-chilling masterpiece that will grip you in terror from the very first page. Set in the ominous Overlook Hotel, this novel is a descent into madness that will haunt your nightmares. Jack Torrance, a struggling writer with a troubled past, takes a job as the winter caretaker of the sprawling and isolated Overlook Hotel. With his wife Wendy and young son Danny, Jack hopes for a fresh start, but what unfolds is a nightmare beyond imagination. As the family settles into their eerie winter residence, they soon discover that the Overlook Hotel has a sinister history. Isolated by the snow-covered mountains, they are trapped with malevolent forces that awaken as the hotel becomes cut off from the outside world. The hotel's haunted history begins to manifest itself in terrifying ways. Danny, gifted with a psychic ability known as the Shining, senses the malevolent spirits that lurk in the dark corners of the hotel. His visions become increasingly horrifying, and the hotel's malevolence seems to feed off his fear. Jack's descent into madness is a slow and torturous journey. He becomes obsessed with the hotel's gruesome past, influenced by malevolent forces that push him towards violence. His transformation into a psychopath is a chilling exploration of the darkest corners of the human psyche. As winter tightens its grip, the hotel becomes a nightmarish maze of haunted rooms and malevolent apparitions. Danny's psychic abilities grow stronger, and he must confront the terror that resides within the hotel to protect himself and his mother. Stephen King's mastery of suspense and psychological horror is on full display in The Shining. The Overlook Hotel is not just a setting, it's a character in its own right, a malevolent entity that preys on the vulnerabilities of the Torrance family. This novel is a relentless descent into madness, a chilling exploration of the supernatural, and a harrowing examination of the human capacity for evil. The Shining will leave you with a lingering sense of dread, making you question what horrors might be lurking in the shadows of your own reality. Beware, for once you check into the Overlook Hotel, there may be no escape from its horrifying grip. It by Stephen King is a chilling masterpiece that delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche, set against the haunting backdrop of Derry, a seemingly idyllic town with a horrifying secret. Here's a detailed summary that captures the eerie essence of the book. In the quiet town of Derry, Maine, a malevolent force awakens every 27 years. Its name is It, and it's a shape-shifting, otherworldly entity that preys upon the deepest fears of the town's children. The story begins with a gruesome murder scene in 1957 when a young boy named Georgie encounters a clown named Pennywise in a storm drain. This encounter leads to Georgie's brutal demise and sets the stage for a series of nightmarish events. Fast forward to 1984, and Derry is once again plunged into darkness as a new generation of children encounters the same evil force. The story revolves around a group of misfit kids known as the Losers Club, brought together by their shared experiences of torment by bullies and abusive parents. When they start experiencing supernatural horrors linked to It, they come to realize that the creature is resurfacing, feeding off their deepest fears. Pennywise, the shape-shifting clown, becomes the embodiment of terror, appearing in various grotesque forms, each more horrifying than the last. It's malevolence extends beyond physical manifestations. It taps into the psychological and emotional vulnerabilities of its victims, often using their traumatic memories against them. As the Losers Club confronts their fears and forms a pact to face It together, they embark on a terrifying journey into the sewers of Derry, where the evil entity resides. They uncover the dark history of the town, discovering that It has been responsible for a series of brutal killings over centuries. The creature's true form, a cosmic horror beyond comprehension, is revealed as they engage in a final, cataclysmic battle against It. Stephen King's It is a relentless descent into the macabre, exploring themes of childhood trauma, the power of friendship, and the persistence of evil. Its narrative weaves between past and present, building an atmosphere of dread that lingers long after the final page. As the Losers Club confronts it, readers too must confront their own fears, for within the pages of this novel, the darkness is very real, and terror knows no bounds. The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty is a spine-chilling tale that plunges readers into a world of malevolent forces beyond comprehension. Set against the eerie backdrop of Georgetown, this novel unfurls a harrowing narrative that will haunt your nightmares. At its core, The Exorcist revolves around the possession of a young girl, Regan McNeil. What begins as subtle and inexplicable changes in her behavior soon escalate into a full-blown nightmare. Regan's descent into madness and grotesque physical transformation leaves her mother, Chris, desperate and terrified. In a desperate bid to save her daughter, Chris enlists the help of two unlikely heroes, Father Damien Carras, a conflicted priest battling his own inner demons, and Father Lancaster Marin, a seasoned exorcist with experience battling the darkest of forces. As the story unfolds, readers are thrust into a relentless battle between good and evil. Blatty masterfully weaves a tale of demonic possession that defies explanation, as Regan's body and soul become a vessel for an ancient, malevolent entity. The relentless and graphic nature of the possession scenes leaves an indelible mark on the reader's psyche. Throughout the novel, the atmosphere is thick with dread and suspense. Blatty's vivid descriptions and unsettling imagery make every page feel like a descent into darkness. The psychological torment inflicted upon the characters and the visceral horrors they face keep readers on the edge of their seats. As Father Carras and Father Marin confront the forces of evil head-on, the narrative escalates into a heart-pounding climax, filled with shocking revelations and terrifying confrontations. The struggle to save Regan's soul becomes a pulse-pounding battle against the demonic, one that will test the limits of faith, courage, and the human spirit. In The Exorcist, William Peter Blatty invites readers to grapple with the unknown, the supernatural, and the chilling notion that evil can lurk where we least expect it. This tale of possession and exorcism is not for the faint of heart, and it will leave you questioning the boundaries between the seen and the unseen, the real and the paranormal. Prepare to be haunted long after you've closed the book, for The Exorcist is a true masterpiece of terror that lingers in the darkest corners of the mind. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment what you want next.